Did I do a good job? Do you guys approve? Do you approve? Are you happy? Well, now that the shrimp farm, the $10,000 shrimp breeding project, has been up and running and full of shrimp for a week now, I thought I'd go through and recap everything that I've done so far. So, the very first thing I had to do was prepare the site. So, all I had was just grass in my yard, so I had to put down a barrier, put down a whole bunch of mulch. This part, no big deal, just laborious. And then lined it with brick. The air pump powering this whole thing is a Pond Master AP100, a big old 100-watt diaphragm pond pump. Then we had to run our lines. We have a water line and an air line. Right there is a quick connect with the cover I made on it. And each line has a series of valves. I didn't know exactly the spacing of the tank, so I put a set of valves every 3 foot or so. And that ended up working good. I'd never done any air loop with PVC pipe or anything like that. I've always just had air lines strung everywhere inside. So this was a good learning experience on how to drill and tap PVC pipe for these valves. They all work perfectly. No problems. Lots of help from my people. Lots of help from my people at Gemco for helping me get this all figured out. Then here at the end, we have a valve here to control the air pressure. You can hear the extra air coming out. And then I put a valve at the end of the water line to flush out that valve every so often and not have any problems with that. And I think probably the most challenging part of setting all this up was figuring out a way to have the lids. I've tried a couple different things, but I ended up going for this bug netting and then using, I think it's called paracord, stretchable paracord. I tried a little paracord and ended up going with the biggest. Tried little plastic clips, then went with metal carabiners, all these tough stuff stock tanks that I got new. All the plugs in them, they come with brass plugs, so I ended up having to replace those. So you can see we have a nice secure netting on here. We've had all kinds of storms and rain and hail, and the netting's held up pretty good, held in place. So that was my biggest concern, keeping all the bad critters out. So all in all, I probably had around a little over $2,000 in building the thing. All the little things you gotta get for the drains, the making the lids, all that, and you times it by 10, all that stuff adds up. But the biggest expense was the shrimp themselves. So now, depending on what you think my shrimp are worth and what I sell them on the website for, I put about 2,500 shrimp out there, and these were the best shrimp I own from my project tanks. So look at these empty tanks. This tank used to have probably close to like 700 green jades, and now it's hard to even find one in there. Let's see. Really good one. So I haven't really added them all up, but I want to say I probably put about 300 or 400 green jades. I probably did 400 blue jellies. The blue jellies are lonely. And then I probably did 200 or 300 snowballs. And then I probably did another 100, 150 oranges. And I did probably 200 or 300 of my very best reds. Where you guys at? Hey. And then there's probably another 200 or 300 blue dreams. And then the red reelies I'm creating myself from scratch. I put some out there. There's probably close to 100, maybe not quite 100, but I didn't have a ton of these because they're a project. And the shrimp in here were really young. It wasn't a whole lot because I just reset it because it's a project. Trying to make my own shrimp line, so I'm resetting them all the time. And then another probably 300 Bloody Marys, maybe even more than that. There's a lot of Bloody Marys, a ton of blue jellies, and a ton of green jades, and a ton of snowballs, it seems like. So, if all goes well, we'll have lots of those shrimp in the fall. But now, the sad part is, all these projects, they only have a handful of the very, very best shrimp. So you may be thinking, you have 10 tubs, that's only 8 tanks, or 8 kinds of shrimp. Well, my new yellows, I pulled out 95% of the adults and left only juveniles. The adults either got cold or they went outside. And so now we just have hundreds of little baby yellow shrimp. And then we did the same thing with the orange reelies. All the adults. The good ones went outside. The bad ones went in the Skittles tank. Speaking of Skittles tanks, so when I reset all these tanks, the first step was picking out the very, very best 10 to 20 to keep the project going. And then I kept picking out all the rest that were awesome until I ran out of shrimp. And then all the rest went here. So the Skittles tank, they all moved the algae wafers where you can't really see them. Let's see if I can move this out right here a little better. Oh, come here, guys. Look at all those shrimps. Holy crap. So there's lots and lots of super really nice shrimp in here from all my project tanks. Now, normally I stock my Skittles tank with the tank resets, my project tank resets, but I've never done them all at one time. So there's a lot of shrimp in here, but I also, a while back, started another cull tank. And this, I think, the ultimate mixing shrimp color tank. This might be my personal favorite tank now. This is incredible. So when I reset all them jelly tanks, I put all the rest in here. I put all the reds, the fire reds in here. And I also, since I made my red reelies by mixing blue jellies and reds, I am putting the culls from all my projects that involve mixing reds and blue jellies. So there's all kinds of cool shrimp in here, and I have enough experience in mixing these that you're really not going to get a whole bunch of wilds. Just lots of cool shrimp. Now you get lesser and lesser grades, but this is a really fun tank. And I reset it, and I've been playing around with it, and we got algae problems, so this tank will be a video coming up soon, revamping this tank and getting it all cleared out and showing you more detail about this tank. But I really, really love this tank now. So in closing, I now have 1,100 gallons of water outside dedicated to breeding shrimp from April to October. I've run out of room in the house and don't have enough money to build a building yet, but I'm hoping this will help me reach that goal. So in all, I am just continuing my goal of being a real shrimp breeder, not a shrimp businessman who goes to the airport and picks up thousands and thousands and sells them off. God knows it'd be better for my business if I did that, but I don't do that. I only sell the shrimp I breed myself. So I hope you guys enjoyed the recap of the $10,000 shrimp farm. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.